when I was in college, I became obsessed with the work of the theater director Robert Wilson. And I just like was obsessed with Einstein on the Beach. And I remember I shoplifted a book of his set designs and they were so beautiful. And I just was like, wow, this guy is amazing. And, I read everything I could about him. And, he did a lot of work with autistic children and he like did theater with autistic children. And I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to do theater with autistic children. And when I graduated, I applied for a job at the local autistic center. Uh, and I was like, hey, I want to do theater. And they were like, okay, you can try. Good luck. But basically, it was babysitting. I was babysitting autistic kids at this home for, severely autistic children. And it was so depressing. There was this one kid, and he had to have like a football helmet on him because he kept smashing his head into the wall over and over again, and his head would just be bloody if he didn't have the helmet on. And he would still smash his head against the wall all day long. And there was this little kid who loved vacuum cleaners for some reason. And he used to pretend he was vacuuming all the time. And he'd just go, "Vroom, vroom," and he'd like move his hand up and down as if he was vacuuming. He was a sweet kid, actually. But, they were scary. They were disturbed. It was frightening. They would do these repetitive gestures that were kind of like, like rocking back and forth all the time and making these sounds. And I don't know, how it's hard not to imitate people? Like, often I've noticed like I laugh the way other people who have really big laughs laugh. Like I'll adopt people's extreme behaviors or gestures. Well, I started doing this autistic thing. I started like rocking back and forth all the time. And, unconsciously, I just started doing it. And I remember like once a month, we used to go to the Center for People with Down Syndrome. And the autistic kids would come, and then the Down syndrome people would be there, and we'd do these like arts and crafts and like sing these songs and do like, sign language to these songs. I remember the main song we used to do was like, celebrate good times, come on. And we would like, do sign language while we sang that. And, I was there with the autistic kids, chaperoning them. And the people who worked with the people with Down syndrome, they didn't know me. And I remember one of them came up to me and said, why aren't you doing a craft? Do you need some scissors? Do you need some paper? And I was like, okay. And then this woman gave me like papers and scissors because she thought I was autistic. And I didn't want to like freak her out. So I just kind of played along and just cut stuff. And I was like, am I becoming autistic? Am I like acting autistic? I think I am. And, I tried to get the autistic kids to do a play, but it was impossible. You couldn't get them to, to sit down. You couldn't get them to do lines. So, I gave up that dream. And, it was just so depressing and demoralizing to go there. I would have to like recover for days. And I finally just quit.